the Pleiadian Healing Council is present, we bid you greetings. We enjoyed being present with all of you during your healing meditation. Allow yourself this experience. Allow yourself to be present in this experience, in this meditative experience of releasing, cutting, removing all energetic ties. To anything that may have been invasive, to anything that may have been placed upon you during your life existence. Allow yourself to release that. But what we would like to share with you is this. From a healing standpoint, from a disconnecting standpoint, one must also realize that there has been purpose in each one of those activities, each one of those procedures, for that is something you have agreed upon for this existence, for this human existence. You've contracted to do that. So it is, yes, appropriate to disconnect now that it no longer serves you, to allow those pathways to rejuvenate, to be whole once again. But it is also to give blessings and gratitude to those that you've contracted with, that they've fulfilled their part appropriately, that they've done exactly what they've needed to do. And now you have transmuted that back to them, releasing it from yourself, freeing you energetically, allowing your vibrational standpoint, your vibrational field, your essence to be whole again. And if it comes time in the future of your human existence that you must endure another procedure, understand, this is a contractual point that you have agreed upon. But now, you have awareness of how it is connecting to you. So before the procedure begins, before the interaction begins with those that are going to provide you any medical care, allow yourself to vibrationally step forward into the future, to observe and understand the procedure, to be there in spirit, in energy, assisting all the others that will be performing the procedure, allowing and lending your essence, your energy into the healing field of the procedure. This way you ensure that you are receiving it to the highest level possible. Whatever the procedure, whatever the healing procedure is, you are stepping forward and being part of the procedure. So it is to envision yourself into that future point, progressing yourself forward in time and allowing yourself to infuse you with your own energy, with your own healing, with your own understanding. And as you do, the others that will be providing the healing, whatever procedure that may be, they are now energetically infused with your essence. And then once the procedure is complete, once the full healing has taken place, the disconnect point is much easier, for it is you that will release from the procedure. There will be no need to release all the others. There will be no need to release from all of the things that have taken place up to that point, for you have already prepared it. You are the master at healing yourself, and you are there to release from it. That is the messages we wish to provide to you. And if you have questions, you may ask.
Thank you so much for your presence throughout that meditation and allowing us to ask questions. Some of us saw beings here that had hair that looked like it was alive with light. Were those the Pleiadians? Can you describe those beings?
The beings that were present, the aspect of the divine feminine that was present, this is a representation of the pure divine feminine. The pure divine feminine in visualization for your memoryscape to hold. You understand divine feminine energy. You understand the presence of it in your field. You understand what it feels like within your physical essence. But to put form to it from the highest, purest state, this is the essence in which you are representing it. It is a divine, feminine, pure state, the emanation of the hair, as you wish to call it. This is the pure healing energy that is emanating from this divine field. It is wisping out into all directions, surrounding, comforting, inserting itself into the healing points, and allowing the releasing to take place.
Beautiful, thank you. And who else was present this evening helping?
The Arcturians were present, the Sirians were present, the Orions were present. You've also questioned you would perceive it as a mythological aspect, this individual known as Thoth. His presence was here. This is the presence of deep earth-based healing. For what was present has been here upon your planet, beyond your comprehension of time. It upswells in through this being, holding space, then through his magic, he sorts and aligns each geometric aspect of it into a divine healing alignment. The presence here was to align each being that was present, each human essence that was present, and aligning each of its geometric shapes into one healing essence for self.
Thank you so much for that. And when Will went around with the bowl, was that a preparatory activity that you all helped him to visualize?
The alignment with the vibrational field that was emanating from this bowl was one to align physically your physical presence with your energetic field to receive the incoming meditative energy.
Beautiful, thank you.
I have a question. I was talking last night to the White Lions of Sirius, and they said that today they will give me more messages about healing, and especially healing cancer, because I got a bit anxious last night, so I'm ready to listen to the message. Thank you.
As you are present to receive these messages, enter into a space in which vibrationally you have released from your physical essence, only allowing the higher vibrational field of your purity to remain. That is the reception point. As you open yourself to this vibrational channel, it will begin to emanate quickly. Be prepared to receive just as quick. It will be processed rapidly. Allow yourself the understanding that it will come in many forms. Physically, through the hands themselves, through the language in which you speak, through the words that you will write. All forms of understanding will be processing simultaneously as it is being infused into your energy field.
Thank you.
I was abducted for medical examination purposes. Was that this life? Who was it? And why was I betrayed? Because they did things to me that I had not agreed to.
What you are aligning with, this understanding, this abduction point, begin to observe from afar, walking yourself into this experience. For it was not in this physical form. What you experienced was a life past. But what must be understood is the clear memory path that has been energetically left open. You've allowed this energy path to be left directly open, so it is as if in this life you've experienced it exactly how it was. The reason being, you understand it in your human form as being invasive, as being against one's will, being something that you wish did not happen. Though in the life that it did take place, this was agreed upon. This was a unanimous understanding. The purposes was one to assimilate DNA, activating sections within DNA that are not active in this human existence. It is for this memory recall. You are remembering it in this physical form as it being invasive. This is the human aspect of what actually has taken place. This aspect of DNA, this transference of DNA, this movement of DNA, this is all for the process that many of the galactic beings are requiring. You are part of a whole to regain a segment of the emotional code that is embedded within the human DNA. What has taken place over time throughout your understanding of your universe and all galactic beings that have been brought into existence within this galactic field? They have allowed themselves to remove the emotional code that is instructed and embedded into the DNA strands. But what has been realized over a period of grand time is that this emotional aspect, this emotional code, is needed. It is not to say that all galactic beings have an emotional code just as you do. The humans are the only ones that have an emotional code that is then activated for its fullest for the experience as a human. But it is necessary for all galactic beings to have this emotional code embedded into the DNA strand. So those that have agreed upon the extraction of DNA to be part of this restructuring for all galactic beings will have memories of it, but the human essence processes the visualization as it being as an abduction, as a non-agreed upon action. This is purposeful, because if you understood in your human form, as it were in agreement, as it were purposeful, then there would be a greater change in the future aspects of the processing. For you will have the knowledge that is not needed as a human. It is kept as a residual effect.
So, okay, this is Chris. I'm an energy healer. I use Reiki and more recently healing energy from Orion, the Pleiades, and Andromeda. My father is dying of cancer, and he has agreed to let me send him healing energy. And I would like to know if the energy that I currently work with is sufficient, or if there is another energy, healing energy, that I need to learn to manipulate or tap into that would be more beneficial for him.
It is not a process of learning a new energy field, a new energy existence, another modality of healing. What needs to be understood is to allow yourself, again, to separate from the physical, to allow yourself to be in the pure essence of your vibrational field. And when you enter into that aspect of self, as you begin your process of pushing, sending, in your understanding, in your human essence, you believe you are sending energy somewhere. But in the purity of it, there is no distance that it is traveling. For the energy of your father's energy and the energy of your pure energy are all one and the same. They are all right in the same field. It is not pushing, sending, or moving energy to any distant point. So this is the understanding to have when you move into this process of healing, to remove yourself from your humanness, step into that energy of self, and know that your Father's energy is present with you. And as you do, you will see and understand all aspects of the energy field and where it is necessary to focus energy, not send. Focus energy into particular areas and allow that to be the process.
Nice. Thank you. Makes complete sense.
This is an understanding for all those that understand their healing practice. You are not sending energy anywhere. You are infusing energy into a direct location of where you are at. Because that is where you are working. That is where your essence is. That is where your presence is. And those that you work with is there with you. As it always is. There is no separation.
I've been seeing ships since I was a little kid, and at will I can ask them to appear, and they appear now. I don't know who they are, and I don't know if they've ever taken me, and I don't know if they're the reason why I can manipulate the elements the way that I can. But I always wanted to know.
And with that, are you able to tell him his primary galactic alignment and or who's working with him now?
The primary alignment connection is through the Lyrans, the source cluster is of the Pleiades. This understanding of oneself, this visualization, this knowing, for you have questions, but yet the questions are the answers. What you are visualizing and what you are seeing and what you are requesting isn't just your humanness. For the depth of your connection, the depth of that energetic connection to the Lyrans, that is your gateway. That is your portal. It is open. It is pure. So it is to understand that, yes, once you call out, they will appear. Once you understand the essence of your energy, it always remains. The manipulation of the elements upon your planet. This is not by chance. This is not just your mind believing. This is the truth in which you exist. For it is to understand the difficulty in the human form to have an open alignment with any galactic being that it may be. But when you have an open alignment and your essence, your human essence, processes that alignment and it is open, the gifts, the understandings, the truths are right in front of you. It is not just you imagining. It is not just you thinking. It is you. But the difficulty is the processing of a human amongst all other humans and the acceptance. But when you stand in your truth, but when you stand firmly in your truth, that's all that you need. For the human existence is just that. It is coming into alignment with a full truth of self, no matter the world around you. The full truth of self is present. The full truth of self is you. Just as it is for all of the beings here, their truth is firmly in place, and it does not represent the greater whole of humanity, but it is their truth. And that is what will move you and propel you forward in your existence.
Thank you very much for that. Can you also let Allie know who her primary alignment and original source cluster are, please?
The primary alignment is the Arcturians, the source cluster is the Orions.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Jade. I had an experience about 30 years ago, and I'm wondering if it's the effects it's had and if there's any work to be done from it. I woke up surrounded by 6 aliens, and when they realized I was awake, they touched my big toe and I went unconscious. And during that same time, I had a tiny little rectangular implant behind my left earlobe. And is there any, whatever you have to say about that, since we're in the healing and releasing connections, that is something that came forth after we did that healing. Is there work to be done around that? What was the purpose of that? Whatever you got to tell me about that, I would appreciate.
The experience that you've had this many years ago, you must look further back. Very similar, this is an agreement. This is you moving forward in time to agree to have this moment, as you say, have a number of aliens be present with you. For at the point at which the agreement was made to have this experience in your human experience, it was that of an experience as you, along with the other aliens, making the agreement to step forward now in time. So it is you as an alien, now as a human, agreeing, connecting. This point at which you recognize the beings in front of you. And this moment in which you've been put into a sleep state. This is one to allow yourself to travel back to that point. For what you will begin to remember is the depths of that sleep state. This will take you back into a time past when you were the alien, as you would like to say. But it is this alignment with your galactic family, this calling forward into the human state. You must take yourself back to that moment. Allow yourself to be in that deep sleep state, that static space. For what you will remember and begin to remember is your family, your galactic family. For the, as you say, implant that was left behind, this is an activation point. This is a point at which a vibrational aspect is activated. For from that point forward, many things have changed. Many awarenesses have come forward. But it is also a beacon. You can reactivate it at any point. You can call forward your galactic family at any point, and they will surround you. Whether it is in the physical state or whether it is in the vibrational state, it is that beacon, it is that point of connection for you to remember. So there is time to understand There is work to move forward, but one must go back to understand the galactic family in which you are infused in. This is an experience of your galactic self, remembering your human self into that galactic family.
The Syrian family.
This is correct.
So, follow-up question. I had assumed that these were not friendly beings. You are saying these are my family.
This is correct.
And were they taking me? Because I felt like they took me
That is the
somewhere.
human state overlaying a process. You have to understand that the human essence, the human mind itself, is going to overlay a traumatic situation. It is going to overlay something so that you stay in the non-remembrance state. It is purposeful to stay in that non-remembrance state as long as possible. For that, information isn't needed.
So they did not detrimentally affect my health. That
It
was
did
not
not.
a part of what I dealt with. Okay.
It did not.
Okay, thank you for all of that. Thank you.
You sure? Okay. Why do I feel like when I see people doing this that that's me? And then also, my other question is, all the seeing of things and the channelings, I want to lay them all out, but you already know. Like, why do I see where your words are coming from? And like, what, not like why, like, what is the purpose for me here and all this channeling? Like, I'm trying to figure out what my purpose is with all this stuff. All the activations, all the visualize, like seeing things that aren't here. Like, I very much struggle to be here. What's my purpose? Like, I've gotten teacher through and stuff like that, but how am I supposed to do that? Like, I don't understand what my purpose is in all this. And I just would like to know how I can be helpful with it and like what it is that I'm supposed to do.
The aspect of what you are visualizing, what you are seeing, what is being portrayed in front of you, is a mirror image of exactly who you are. You are seeing yourself. You are seeing all aspects of yourself. But yet the human holds yourself back from being that aspect. It is to understand this. The transference of energy through voice is prominent, but yet it is restricted. The energy transference through hands into active activations is present, but is being restricted by the human essence. It is this, just as it has been explained in this session here, it is to remove yourself from the humanness. You must begin to remove yourself. The more you see this mirror image of self, it will be there present with you, but it will not be expressed. One must allow themselves to remove from the humanness and be in the pure essence and not restrict any vibrational aspect that wishes to emanate. This is for all beings present. If you are in that vibrational state and you see and you feel and you understand what is to be presented, allow yourself to slide just aside from the humanness and allow yourself to express what is present. Because for what you are experiencing is of the highest vibrational state. It must be expressed. And whether it is in the form of hands or whether it is in the form of language, you must not restrict yourself. This is the trust. The human being, the human presence is the greatest restrictor. It will tell you that this is not what you should be doing. You must remain quiet. This is not appropriate in your life. These are all aspects of the programming of the human essence. That's why you have come into this experience as a human. For you have come here to experience the restriction. But as the energy is shifting, as the progress of your planet is moving forward, much is being revealed. Much is being laid in front of individuals that they can no longer restrict. So it is now time to begin to reveal what has been hidden. Do not sit in fear. Do not sit with hesitation. Allow the vibrations to emanate through you. Whether it is just a few words at a time, it will begin to grow. Allow yourself time. Be gentle with the human essence. It will want to hold back, but allow yourself. That vibration which sits here in the center, the core, allow it to emanate in all aspects necessary.
Thank you for that.
Just wanted to know my origin cluster. I know just only half of that question.
Can Chris find out who her original starseed cluster is, please?
Yeah, Taurus cluster is the originating source.
Beautiful. We want to thank you so very much for being present and for allowing us to ask questions, and for all of the other beings who were present with us this evening. We're very, very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we thank you for allowing us to be present with you.
Thank you.